Hi there, Dr. Matthew Korn, 65 Plus Center for Active Aging here with your weekly rounds. It's been a few weeks since I've last broadcasted. We've been very busy in our clinic with a phase one reopening. Today is June 5th, Friday, June 5th, 2020. And I got some great news for you. We're moving toward our phase two reopening starting Monday, June 8th. That's this coming Monday. And this is in alignment with the Florida governor's phase two reopening plan. I think you've probably heard about in the news. Pretty much most retail venues are open. Most of them open to 50% capacity. So bars, salons, movie theaters. I think the only real restrictions in place right now are large venues such as sporting venues and some sports activities. And um, I think Disney's opening up, but on a slightly different time frame, and so some theme parks. But all of these are going to be drastically reduced volumes. And one of the things I want to drive home with you about my practice is even though we have a rather large facility, nearly 5,000 square feet, so that's very easy to pretty much fill myself up to normal capacity. We're going to go ahead and keep the physical distancing down to about 12 feet of spacing. So we take our total square footage and we divide it by the number of patrons and staff, and it comes right about to about 12, 13 feet distance overall. We have several rooms, and then we have one main clinical and wellness area, but we're going to be limiting that to what comes to about 10 clients and 5 additional staff. The door stays locked. You come in at your scheduled appointment. Once everyone enters, we secure the building. You do your thing, whether it be any of our wellness services or physical therapy. Then, when you're done, we let you out, and the next group of people come at the top of the hour. Pretty simple program, but you don't have to memorize all this. You can go on our website, click on the top banner where it says Phase 2 Reopening Plan. You can read all about it. I'm also going to pump out our monthly Active Ager newsletter tomorrow, so you'll be able to read more about that there as well. We'll also share with you some more details about exciting new and different things going on in the community. On a community-based level, things are here very good here in Venice, Florida. We do have had a lot of rain. I think we needed it, but it's been a strange kind of a subtropical system floating in the southwest Florida area for a while, and it's kind of been cloudy and rainy all day, not your typical storm cell activity. As a matter of fact, if you've been watching the news, we did have a tornado touchdown over in northeast Venice, the Wellfield Park area, if you know that area, and that was a little scary. I don't think anyone was injured, but there was some damage to some ball field structures and over at the Publix parking plaza on Venice Avenue, but all is well there. Additionally, for those who enjoy my staff is coming back nearly um, all everybody. We're going to have kind of a phase uh, uh, reintegration with our staff just because we have to build our clientele back up. Which brings me to my next point. Physicians are working at decreased capacity. They're seeing patients on a very limited basis, as am I. Elective surgeries are performing on a limited basis. And as you know, a lot of physical therapists get their referrals from post surgical patients, post hospitalizations, and referrals from their primary care and other specialists who feel the need for physical therapy interventions. So while we're having a good chunk of our uh, active and current clientele coming back, we're not seeing a whole lot of new referrals. And so I'm going to ask you for those that care to help us maintain and sustain our business during the ongoing health emergency to kindly refer any friends or family or neighbors that you think are needing physical therapy. As a reminder, as a doctor of physical therapy, you have direct access in all 50 states, actually. So, not just Florida here, but you can directly access a physical therapist without a physician referral. Some insurances require authorization. We usually take care of that for you. And this brings me to another point about physical therapy. Many people's experience of physical therapy was referral by a physician, you go to a physical therapist, you see that therapist for X amount of visits or X amount of weeks, and then they discharge you, and if you meet your goals, or send you back to your physician if you don't. But what people don't know is that physical therapists, being movement specialists and experts in the musculoskeletal system, are very good at diagnosing themselves. As a matter of fact, I would argue to say we'd probably do a much better job than a family care or primary care physician, and research has shown that we're on par with most orthopedic specialists as well. So we can help diagnose those sprains and strains, and obviously it's something that we can't handle. We're going to get you in the right direction. Had a patient come in the other day who had some neck pain. She has a history with some osteoporosis, and I was a little suspicious about a compression fracture. Got her over to the urgent care. They took an x-ray, and sure enough, she had a compression fracture. So I won't be treating her, but I was able to kind of steer her in the right direction and give her some guidance and help her. On the other hand, I had a patient come in the other day. He slipped on the wet grass, and he sprained his ankle. And it was a simple sprain. A lot of times, sprains are actually small fractures or hairline fractures. They won't even show up on x-ray. So we monitored it for a few days. I did some manual therapies. I had him keep off that ankle for a few days, and he followed up with me a week later with a telehealth visit, and things were getting better in normal course. So I felt strongly he didn't need to seek any orthopedic care. And he'll be following up with me next week in person for a reassessment. But once again, we're going to rely on my active clientele to possibly help us during this stage, to refer friends and family and neighbors who might need physical therapy. And as a reminder, you don't necessarily need physical therapy. You're just looking for a consultation, and there are no restrictions on how many physical therapy consultations you can have. So if you injure yourself 5 times in a year, you can consult with a physical therapist 5 times for that issue. And if physical therapy isn't worn in terms of an active treatment plan, we can just give you advice or steer you in the right direction for self-management. So that's something I really want to drive home. One last piece of information I want to share with you. State of Florida has finally, after a long, hard, multi-year battle, authorized us to amend our charter to practice acupuncture type treatments. We call it dry needling in the physical therapy realm. We kind of leave the word acupuncture to a acupuncturist, which I think is only fair. I am not certified. I would have to get certified. I'm interested in being certified. It's just I wasn't going to invest in the process if it was illegal for me to perform that. So that's another modality or service that I hope to bring online here in the next year. It is quite an intense training program. It will require some testing and many weekends of study. And obviously, I have a busy practice, but I will keep you posted on the dry needling techniques. And I'll have a seminar once I'm up to speed on the training, and then you can understand how we might integrate that into our physical medicine practice. Anyway, that wraps up the weekly rounds for this week. Again, Monday, June 8th, we're looking at phase 2 reopening, so we can have resume our group fitness classes, resume all our other wellness activities, and have a few more patients in the building at one time for our physical therapy services. And again, most of my staff is back, and we miss you, and hopefully you miss us, and you'll come for a visit. Even if you just want to stop by, that's great. Just call first, because we have to know you're coming in order to let you in. Hope you're well. Be well. Stay dry. Stay safe and healthy. And we'll catch you next time in our next weekly rounds. And be on the lookout in your inbox for our Active Ager newsletter. And stay active. Dr. Matthew Korn, 65 Plus Center for Active Aging, and I wish you well.